Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to the WWE 2K15 Universe mode, and this, which will be part 2 of our Attitude Era's European Championship Tournament. There's a lot of words to get out. Anyway, we're going to have for you tonight, they're going to have the second round and the semi-finals, and then obviously the final will take place at SummerSlam next week. So we're going to have Christian taking on Scott Hall, Mark Henry versus Shelton Benjamin, Sheamus versus Edge, and Kane versus Randy Orton. So let's get straight into Christian versus Scott Hall. And here we go, our first match of round 2. Christian takes on Scott Hall. We know that Christian's already got a match booked at SummerSlam. He's going to defend his tag team championships against either the APA or the World's Greatest Tag Team. We'll find out who they'll face next week on Friday night's War is War. But so it would be ideal for me, technically, if Scott Hall was to win this match. So I'd rather not Christian have to wrestle twice. We will do it, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to change the results of what happens here. If Christian wins, then Christian wins, but say I'd rather not have Christian or Edge, on the other hand, who's in the other bracket, wrestle twice. Just a quick thing to note as well, the damage retention has been kept on in this in this tournament, sorry. That means that all the damage that Christian and Scott Hall took in the last match in the first round is going to be retained here. So a quick little submission like this Texas Cloverleaf could finish off the match. Scott Hall, though, surely he can reach them ropes. And he does. Christian breaks the hold. That, in theory, should mean that these second round matches and the semi-finals are going to be a lot quicker than what our first round was. I remember it was Edge and Christian who defeated Scott Hall and Kevin Nash for them tag team championships a couple of weeks back at the previous pay-per-view. I can't remember what it was now, though. Was it Judgment Day? I can't remember. I've got it noted down somewhere. So yeah, Scott Hall will be looking for some a measure of retribution here against Christian. Christian probably an advantage here because Christian had the easier first round match against Diamond Dallas Page, whereas Scott Hall struggled. He was up against Chris Jericho. Scott Hall grabbing the rope there, rope break. Christian straight back on the attack though. And now a standing Kimura lock. And Christian just going for submission after submission in this match. Scott Hall again just punched the stomach of Christian, who hit him with that spinning heel kick, going for the pin. Only for the 2 count. And what is it with Christian at the moment? His stats are nowhere near as good as Scott Hall's, but he's really on one. Scott Hall, that combination of strikes though, taking Christian down. Now Hall locking in a camel clutch. Not often we see Scott Hall go to a submission. Christian crawling to the ropes, and he makes it just in time. Christian trips Hall and now turns Hall over into the cloverleaf. Hall trying to make it to the ropes, but the referee, being a bit of a prick, went straight in his way. Hall fights his way out though, and now he gets Christian up and looking for the fall-away slam. This is what got him into the second round. Huge fall-away slam. And now he's signaling for it. I thought he was going to go for the razor's edge, but he goes for a choke slam instead. Straight into the pin. 1, 2, and 3. Scott Hall is through to the semi-finals and will face the winner of Mark Henry and Shelton Benjamin. Christian has knocked out. Maybe in more ways than one after that choke slam. There was a pin from Christian. Only for a 2 count though. And it was this big fall-away slam which really signalled the beginning of the end. Then Hall catches Christian in this big choke slam. Straight in for the pin. 1, 2, and 3. So Scott Hall doing very well here. Through to the semi-finals, beating Chris Jericho and Christian on the way. Scott Hall could be the very first European champion. To say, it's probably a blessing in disguise for Christian. He has to defend these tag team championships at SummerSlam. The last thing he needs is a singles match as well for another title. I think he needs to make sure he can defend his titles before he pushes himself too much and ends up risking losing both. Match number 2 is going to be Mark Henry taking on Shelton Benjamin. And here we go. Second round, Mark Henry defeated Finlay in round 1. Shelton Benjamin was victorious over the British Bulldog. So both these guys knocked out European talent. Henry going for a very early pin. Remember, as I've said, damage retention is still on. So all of the damage taken in the previous match is going to affect them in this one as well. Mark Henry with that big scoop slam, just throwing Shelton Benjamin halfway across the ring. Now Shelton reversing, catching Mark Henry with a jawbreaker, but Mark with that hip toss. Now Henry just punches to the side of the head of Shelton Benjamin. Brings him back up to his feet via his neck, and there's gorilla press by Mark Henry, and Shelton reverses. German suplex by Shelton Benjamin and Mark Henry, showing his strength. Shelton with that springboard splash, but Henry avoids it. Remember, Shelton Benjamin's another one where he will be facing the APA. Well, himself and Charlie Haas, of course, will be facing the APA next Friday night. If they win that, they will go on to face Edge and Christian at SummerSlam. So he could also end up pulling double duty there. Shelton now going for that armbar on Mark Henry. Beautiful move by Shelton. Shows pace and technical ability there with that flip into the armbar. Henry now though just punches the side of the head of Shelton Benjamin. Brings him back up to his feet, neck first. Picks him up, and the powerbomb's reversed into the DDT. And just slamming the arm of Mark Henry into the ring. And now again, Shelton Benjamin now with the arm breaker. Cross armbar by Shelton Benjamin. Building upon the damage he did earlier. Is it enough? No, Mark Henry reverses. And just like the previous match, these guys both going for a lot of submissions as Mark Henry, the world's strongest man, locking in a full Nelson submission. And that is all. The full Nelson submission is enough for Mark Henry to defeat Shelton Benjamin. And now Mark Henry will go on to face Scott Hall in the semi-finals later this evening. That reversal to the powerbomb by Mark Henry. Shelton reverses it into a DDT, and this is the full Nelson submission. And once you're locked in that by a man of the size and the strength of Mark Henry, there's no way you're getting out. So Henry here, victorious. He knows that one more win guarantees him a championship match at SummerSlam. He looks like he's definitely got his eyes on the prize. And match number 3 this evening is going to be the last remaining European star, Sheamus, as he takes on Edge. And here we go, our third quarter-final of the evening. And as I said, Sheamus is the last of the European talents left in this competition. And I know I've also said it in the last couple of matches as well, but damage retention is on, so all damage received in the previous match is really going to work against them here as well. So you'll see that a lot of these second round matches are going to be a lot quicker. Quick roll up here by Edge. 1, 2. Sheamus reverses though. Why did reverse? He kicks out of the pin. Knee to the stomach there by Sheamus. Went for that big axe handle. Edge catches him with a quick roll up. Sheamus kicks out. Sheamus now around the back of Edge, catches him in the front chancery. Edge picks him up and drops him face first. Now just slamming his arm into the ring. Sheamus is not having any of it though. Fights his way back up to his feet. Two guys lock up in the middle of the ring, but Edge comes out on top. Locking in the abdominal stretch. Can Sheamus withstand this? Oh, he can. Not only does he withstand it, he reverses it into that hip toss. Brings Edge back up to his feet. There's that beautiful gut-wrench suplex. Again, bringing Edge back up to his feet. Edge fighting back though. Sheamus coming out on top of that big strike. Tilt-a-whirl DDT by Edge. Pulls Sheamus into the middle of the ring. He's going to go for the pin here. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Sheamus kicks out again. Edge catches Sheamus with that headlock and Sheamus drops Edge. Back down with a backdrop. Edge back up to his feet now though. Catches Sheamus with that. It was like a reverse X Factor. Sheamus reversing that DDT attempt into a Russian leg sweep. And a big elbow drop. The whole weight of Sheamus' body comes down on top of Edge there. And now Edge reversing the suplex attempt into a Russian leg sweep straight into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, so close to being a free. You see the damage from Sheamus' last match is really coming to catch him up here. Oh, big knee to the face of Edge. Almost a Seth Rollins, John Cena moment. I can't believe they're doing that at SummerSlam. It really is annoying me, that. Edge now. Oh, whipping Cena. Sorry, Sheamus. I'm just annoyed, so I've got Cena on the mind. Edge back up to his feet. Sheamus strikes him. Edge, one back. Catches Sheamus in the headlock. Headlock. God, my commentary's fucking dire in this one. It really is. I apologise for my language. Sheamus twisting the arm of Edge, and Edge brings him back into that shoulder block. Into the pin. 1, 2. Again, a 2 count. It's not going to be long here. Belly to belly slam by Edge. Brings Sheamus back up to his feet, and Sheamus whipping Edge into that far corner. Follows it up with that big clothesline. Now slamming the arm of Edge into the ring. There's the elbow drop by Sheamus. Sheamus has Edge up on his shoulders and Edge reverses into that execution. Brings Sheamus into the centre of the ring. Could this be all? 1, 2, and no. I thought that was going to be free, but Sheamus kicked out at the last second. Now dropping Edge flat on his face. I thought Sheamus might have been lining up for the bro kick there. And another execution by Edge. And surely that's got to be all. He's hit 2 of them now. Surely that's going to be all. 1, 2, and 3. And it looks like our first ever European champion in this universe mode is not going to be European. We've got Kane and Randy Orton next. Who is going to come out on top here? This was a big match, this for Edge. I don't fancy the idea of having to take on Kane or Randy Orton later on this evening. But he knows just one more victory now guarantees him a second championship match at SummerSlam. Remember, he's going to be defending his tag team championships no matter what happens. And I'm not moving the scheduled date for this European Championship match, so should Edge win his next match, he will be fighting twice at SummerSlam. Big win for Edge. Again, is another one of the guys in this universe mode who's very much typecast as a tag team wrestler. So when he gets the opportunities in singles competition like this, he really needs to make the most of it. And so far he is. And can he come out with a singles championship at the end as well? And now our final quarter-final match is going to be Kane taking on Randy Orton. And here we go, Kane and Randy Orton. The winner of this match will face Edge in the semi-final of this competition for that place for the European Championship at SummerSlam. Orton now putting Kane straight into a submission. Remember, I know I've said it on every match so far, but damage retention is on. So all the damage gained in the previous match is gonna move on into this one. I'm trying to remember now who these guys fought against. I'm pretty sure Kane faced Regal and Orton faced Goldust. I think that's right. Kane, Regal, Orton, Goldust. I think Orton had a struggle with Goldust as well, so he probably took a lot more damage than Kane did. Can Kane capitalise on that? Kane back up to his feet and punched the stomach of Randy Orton. Two guys locking up here. Kane, backbreaker there on Randy Orton. Pulls him into the centre of the ring. Rolls him straight over into the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. We've seen some quick matches so far tonight, and I thought that could be another one. Russian leg sweep by Kane. Orton fights him away though. Kane twisting the arm of Orton again. The third time Orton has to flip through it. And Kane leg drops the other arm. Into the pin. 1, 2. Still only a 2 count. Remember, Randy Orton will be disappointed. Lost his Intercontinental Championship a couple of weeks ago at the previous pay-per-view to R-Truth. This is the opportunity to get some more silverware back around his waist straight away. However, we still haven't named who R-Truth's opponents are going to be at the SummerSlam pay-per-view, so keep an eye out for that as well. Kane back up to his feet and an elbow to the back of Randy Orton. Randy with a quick roll up. Only for a 1 count though. Kane with that belly to belly slam on Randy Orton. Pulls him back into the centre of the ring. Go for the pin. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Sidewalk slam by Kane. Going for the pin. 1, 2. And Kane victorious here for Randy Orton with his patented sidewalk slam. Kane will go on to face Edge later on this evening. And the winner of that is going to SummerSlam to fight for the European Championship. And this is the pin from Kane's sidewalk slam that finished the match off. To say Orton will be disappointed. Really wanted to get that silverware back around his waist after losing the Intercontinental Championship to R-Truth. But now Orton's free from this competition, maybe. Just maybe he'll be considered for the Intercontinental Championship match at SummerSlam. I've still got things going through my mind at the moment, but I'm sure it'll all come to light in the next week or so. And here is our first semi-final of the evening. Scott Hall takes on Mark Henry. And here we go. Both these guys have already gone through 2 matches this evening, so I wouldn't expect a very long match here. I'm not even going to try and remember who these guys defeated. Scott Hall defeated Chris Jericho in the first round and Christian in the second round. Whereas Mark Henry defeated Finlay in the first round and Shelton Benjamin in the second round. And straight away, Scott Hall was going for that adrenaline move. Mark Henry flattens him and stamps on the back of his leg. And Scott Hall now going for that adrenaline move again and misses. Mark Henry though, I thought he was going to lock in the camel clutch for just using his weight and bringing it down on the back of Scott Hall. Henry now, Scott Hall up. Oh, it's like a reverse. So it was like a crucifix. Submission by Mark Henry on Scott Hall. Henry has to release it. It's only so long he can hold Hall's weight up there. And Hall straight back into it, and Henry just flattens him with that STO style chokeslam. Now an elbow drop. Holding it for the pin. 2. Oh, so close to a 3 count. Scott Hall kicks out. Henry has Hall up. Gorilla press. Into the power slam. And Mark Henry is going to SummerSlam to fight for that European Championship. Nearly got the pin there with that elbow drop. But then lifting Hall up into that gorilla press, dropping him onto his shoulder, then power slamming him down. And Scott Hall had no answer for that. And there's your 3 count. Mark Henry now 1 victory away from becoming the first ever European champion on this Universe mode. He will face the winner of Edge and Kane at SummerSlam next week. I told you it'd be a quick match, didn't I? Best thing is, this is the first time I've used Mark Henry in this competition, and now all of a sudden he could be a champion. And here is our second semi-final and our last match of the evening. Edge takes on Kane for the right to face Mark Henry at the SummerSlam pay-per-view for the European Championship. And here we go. Our final match of the evening, our second semi-final. We know whoever wins this match will go on to face Mark Henry for that European Championship at SummerSlam. When we know that Edge is already in a match, he'll be defending his tag team championships against the... we'll find out next Friday on Raw is War. It's going to be either the APA or the world's greatest tag team. It all depends on who wins that final match in the tag team #1 contenders tournament. Got a lot of tournaments going on here. And Kane picks up an incredibly quick victory there. Locking in the abdominal stretch, and Edge taps out. Really quick victory here for Kane. As you can tell, but that's the only replay. Kane using his size and strength and the damage already done by Edge to come out victorious here. And we are going to see Kane versus Mark Henry at SummerSlam for that European Championship. Not the most exciting of matches, but that's what the game's thrown at us, and that's what we'll run with. So who is going to be named the first ever European champion of this Universe mode? We will find out next Sunday at SummerSlam. Be sure to check that out. That will be on this playlist. Of course, we do have one more episode of Raw is War for you first. But anyway, guys, that is the end of this episode and the end of our European Championship #1 contenders tournament. We now know that Kane will face Mark Henry at SummerSlam next week to be crowned the first ever European champion here on the Universe mode. I hope you've all enjoyed this competition. It's something a little bit different to what we normally do, so I'll keep trying to add little bits and bobs like this just to try and freshen it all up. So yeah, I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching this episode, and goodbye.